Every friend group has secrets, every town has lies, and every scream has a reason. The phone rings in the dead of night. It's Cam, all alone in his house. He answers, and a distorted voice on the other end asks him that famous question, "Do you like scary movies, Cam?" He laughs, a little nervous, brushing it off as a prank. "Who is this?" the voice replies, chillingly. "Someone watching you." Suddenly the lights in his house begin to flicker. The back door creaks open. Cam's bravado melts into fear. He starts to cry, pleading, "Guys, this isn't funny." And then the power cuts out completely. In the darkness, we hear heavy, ragged breathing. A scream rips through the silence, followed by the wet sound of a blade slicing through the air. Blood splatters across a wall. Cam's scream turns into a sickening gurgle, and then nothing, just silence. Cam was found the next morning, or what was left of him, anyway. The news sends a shockwave through his circle of friends. They gather, terrified, trying to make sense of the horror. Pink, always the leader, immediately takes control. "Nobody walks alone," she declares, and Horican stands right beside her, a silent enforcer. Paulie, however, stays quiet, his eyes darting around, watching everyone. Orth and Andy, friends since they were kids, exchange a worried look. They only trust each other. Tink and Treason, brothers in everything but blood, sit close together, finding strength in their bond. Pixie and Fabries hold hands, their knuckles white. Pebbles clings to F-Gear, searching for safety. Chief Phileton and Paulie stay on high alert. They all know the truth. This wasn't a random attack. The killer is still out there. That night, the killer proves them right. Chief is walking to his car when his phone rings. It's an unknown number. He answers, and the same distorted voice whispers, "You should have stayed with the group." Chief spins around just as a figure in that iconic ghost mask steps out from the shadows. Chief doesn't go down without a fight. He's strong, and his punches land hard. But just as he seems to be getting the upper hand, a second masked figure appears behind him. Two killers. The fight is over in seconds. Chief is stabbed over and over and left bleeding in the street. The message is brutally clear. This is personal, and no one is safe. Panic sets in. The remaining friends lock themselves down inside Pink's house. They barricade the doors, grab anything they can use as a weapon, and wait. But the fear quickly turns to paranoia, and the accusations begin to fly. "It's someone in this room," Treason says, his voice shaking with anger. "Orth fires back!" or Turbus. Paulie steps forward, his expression grim and determined. "Whoever it is, I'll break them." And just like that, the lights cut out. Screams erupt from upstairs. In the chaos, Pixie is dragged into a bedroom. Fabries, hearing her cries, runs after her, but it's too late. The killer is gone. A moment later, Pixie's body crashes through a window, landing on the lawn below. Fabries lets out a gut-wrenching scream, collapsing over her friend. The killer, or killers, had gotten inside and vanished just as quickly. Desperate for answers, Phileton manages to access the security footage from Cam's house on the night he was killed. The group gathers around the screen, their hearts pounding. What they see is worse than they could have imagined. Cam wasn't killed instantly. The masked killer had tied him to a chair. They see the killer remove the mask, but only slightly, teasing the camera, never revealing their face. They don't just kill him. They torture him psychologically. They make him beg. They make him choose which one of his friends should die next. Cam, through his tears and terror, refuses. So the killer finishes him, slowly, painfully. The friends watch the footage in stunned silence. The sheer brutality of it. This was deeply, deeply personal. The group is now smaller, and the fear is overwhelming. Only Pink, Hurricane, Paulie, Orthandi, Treason, Fobries, F-Skier, and Pebbles remain. But the killers aren't finished. Tink is found dead in the garage, stabbed and pinned to the wall. The sight makes Treason snap. He loses all control, roaring with grief and rage, and storms outside, vowing revenge. A masked killer appears, and they clash in a brutal fight. Treason is strong, fueled by adrenaline, and for a moment it looks like he might actually win. But then the second killer appears and stabs him from behind. He collapses, his last sight the cold, dark sky. Back in the house, total panic explodes. In the chaos, Paulie manages to tackle one of the killers. He fights, rips off the mask, and it's Philoton. Everyone freezes, shocked into silence. "You all laughed at me," Philoton spits out. But before anyone can react, Hurricane lunges forward and stabs Paulie in the side. She pulls off her own mask, a smirk on her face. She was the second killer all along. "It was always about control," she says, her eyes landing on Pink. "You were too perfect, Pink." Just then Phileton lunges at Orth, but Andy tackles him, and an all-out fight erupts. Paulie, bleeding heavily but running on pure will, gets back up. He grabs Phileton and with a sickening crack snaps his arm. Pink uses the opening to stab Phileton, and he falls to the ground. Hurricane tries to make a run for it, but Pink blocks her path. They stare at each other, a history of friendship now drowned in betrayal. "You would have done the same," Hurricane whispers. Pink just shakes her head and plunges the knife forward. Silence finally falls. In the distance, police sirens wail, getting closer. The survivors are few. Pink, a barely alive Paulie Orth, Andy, Fobries, Visker, and Pebbles. They stand among the wreckage of their friendships, trying to process the nightmare. Two killers, driven by one motive, a toxic mix of jealousy, control, and resentment. Pink stares as the flashing blue and red lights paint the house. The horror seems to be over. But as the camera pulls back, revealing the scene of carnage, a phone starts to ring. One last time. Who's next?